Alright. Hello, welcome back. I hope I'm much louder now. I realized last episode I was really quiet because I messed with the microphone settings again. Hopefully, I don't want to turn my microphone all the way up because then I'll be really loud, I think. But hopefully everything should be a little better now. The game should be loud, but I should be louder than the game. Even if I go back here. Last time I didn't talk much about stuff because I'm still at college. I'm doing college stuff, so I have class after this stuff. Well, I don't actually, but whatever. Um, but I thought, maybe we should talk about what's happening, but then I was like, might as well just get into it. But I'm gonna try to be a little more, well, actually, I don't want to take this episode too long. I was gonna say I'd like to be a little more discussion-based here, but I think not. Well, I realized I was doing the voices pretty badly last time, so I'll try to get better at Suzuha's voice. uh, she should probably see her doctor about her hand. Suzuha got hurt last episode, if you don't remember. She shocked herself on her time machine. She should probably see a doctor about her hand, but there's no time for that. Mayuri's death is approaching. Oh, death approaches. Game Grumps reference already? This is already a bad recording. I just hope she's not in too much pain. I wrap a towel around her hand to keep people around us from staring. Welcome back, Ocarina. Oh, Suzuha's with you too. When we get to the lab, Mayuri and Daru were there for some reason. I thought I sent them home. Mayuri gives me a ditzy answer when I ask them. I really thought we should celebrate the birth of Super Phonewave-chan. So Daru-kun and I went shopping. I should have known she wouldn't stay away. Kurisu looks as worried as I am. She leans close and whispers into my ear. What do we do? Make absolutely sure Mayuri doesn't find out. Kurisu nods slightly. What are you guys whispering about? How many times do I have to say it? No party! Come on, Ocarina, that's no fun! It's not about fun. I glance at Suzuha. She still looks depressed. Suzuha-san, are you feeling okay? Suzuha, Christina, I have an important matter to discuss. That's why I asked you to leave for the day. Or, I think that I read that line wrong. Whatever. Mayuri wants to hear too! I think he's serious. But Suzuha-san looks sad. Mayuri's worried. Sorry. Suzuha hangs her head and bites her lip. I know she feels responsible for Mayuri's death, but how is she related? That's what I'm here to find out. I watched Mayuri and how she died her this day. This concerns them too. Suzuha says so, then I have no objections, but I quietly pull her aside and remind her not to tell them about Mayuri's impending death. Then I quickly explain Suzuha's true identity, that she posts on @channel as Doneycatjr, that the satellite is really a time machine, that she came from the year 2036. A girl from the future? That's awesome. Can I shake your hand? We're not playing around here, Daru. What year were you born? I forgot the voice for a second. 2017. That's in 7 years. You haven't been born yet, but you're here. There's no time to deal with Mayuri's confusion. Alright, Suzuha, let's hear it. Well, that just is what I posted on that channel. I came from the future, the year 2036. In my time, the world is a dystopia ruled by CERN. There's no war, no conflict, but no freedom either. Dystopia? A society where every activity is controlled by the government. In a dystopia, you're not allowed to eat bananas unless today is banana eating day. If you break that rule, they throw you in jail without a trial. That's terrible! Mayushi loves bananas! Forget about the bananas. I'm part of the resistance fighting to free humanity from CERN's control. We came to the past to change my present. From your point of view, I guess I should say the future. To change the future. Change the future. She doesn't sound like she's joking. What about finding your father? Was that a lie? Suzuha doesn't answer. Does that mean it was a lie? CERN is a research institution. They don't have political power. I explained that to Doneycatjr several times online. Online? Wait, don't tell me you're Kuri, Gohan, and Kamehameha. You are? Kurusu turns red and looks away. Theodore came forward. It's only fair that I do too. In that case, I'll come clean too. I was posting under my true name. Oh yeah, yo. I think we knew. I know. Harmonized! Suzuha frowns. She must not like having anything in common with Kurusu. She clears her throat and continues. CERN is still a research institution in 2036. The world is actually ruled by CERN's secret backers, the Committee of 300. The Committee of 300? They're real? That name was in CERN's top secret documents. When CERN successfully completed their time machine, they became the sole entity with power over the fourth dimension, time. In just 2 years, they remade the world to serve their purpose. Just 2 years, but that's only an objective time. I bet CERN's time travelers spent many decades living back and forth across history, building the foundation of CERN's rule. That brings us to you, Makise Kurusu. Suzuha glares at Kurusu. In 2036, you are apothecized as the mother of the time machine. Apothecized? In Japanese, please. Apothecized as in revered, respected. She keeps using unusual vocabulary, or maybe that's normal vocabulary for 2036? Respected? Huh? I am? In 2010, you pioneer time loop technology. Afterwards, you contribute to the development of CERN's time machine. That's what I know about Makise Kurusu. Is that why she treats Kurusu like an enemy? Then I must be the father of the time machine, right? Hokage Rintaro is a terrorist in 2036. You're pretty infamous. What? Seriously? I'm a terrorist in the future? I helped CERN build their time machine? I don't believe it. CERN's experiments on people against their will. There are disgraced scientists everywhere. I would never collaborate with them. But that's how it is in the future. How did the future me explain herself? We've never met. By 2036, you're already dead. Sorry. Aw, shit, that sucks, man. Well, that's just great. I don't even make it to 50. In my time, there are two kinds of people. Those who live extremely long lives, and those who die young, under suspicious circumstances. People who act against CERN are erased. They erased me? Suzuha looks into Kurusu's eyes. For once, she's not glaring at Kurusu. Maybe you were being used by CERN too. Maybe they took your parents hostage and forced you to work on their time machine. No, does that mean Mama's in danger? Kurusu's mother is in America. It's not terribly difficult to imagine CERN kidnapping her while Kurusu is away. After all, I watched Moeka kill Mayuri. I almost said milk. Kill Mayuri in cold blood. Rounders. What's that? CERN's private army, or something like that. Suzuha nods. On paper, they're an independent technology research firm. In reality, they do the dirty work for CERN all over the world. According to Moeka, they have two chief duties. First, to acquire IBM 5100s, the only computers that can access CERN's secret database. Second, to find promising scientists in the field of time travel and force them to cooperate with CERN, or eliminate them if they will not. So they already exist. I thought they might. In my time, they're our #1 enemy. Dirty work? Does that mean like kidnappings and assassinations? Suzuha looks to me with a question in her eyes. I shake my head. In my time, yes. I don't think they've reached that level in this time yet. Daru was visibly relieved. Well, good for him. Amane-san, you said that most of what you posted as John Titor was true, right? Right. Does that mean you know how the universe works? You claim that the Everett Wheeler model, the many worlds interpretation, is correct. That was a lie, camouflage that CERN wouldn't target me. If I mix one lie into the truth, then the bad apple spoils the barrel. So you don't know? I do. By 2036, scientists have successfully modeled the structure of the universe, and it's not the many worlds interpretation. Really? Tell me! Attractor fields. Right.
I told you by mail, didn't I?
What sort of model is that?
The universe is made up of world lines and attractor fields.
Suzuha walks over to Mayuri's sewing table and picks up a ball of red yarn. She holds one end of the yarn and drops the ball to the floor, then holds about a meter of yarn in front of her face.
The universe is like this piece of yarn.
Ooh.
Countless possible world lines exist side by side, branching out to infinity. From a distance, it looks like a single string, but when you look closer, the string is actually made up of individual threads woven together. At the end, those threads converge on a single point. The paths are different, but the destination is the same.
Isn't that determinism?
Close. This model is a little looser. You could say it cherry picks from the many worlds interpretation and the Copenhagen interpretation.
If the branches all lead to the same place, does that mean there's only one world in the end?
Exactly. The bundle of world lines that share a point of convergence is called an attractor field. There are also many attractor fields. This string is attractor field alpha. The threads are alpha world lines.
Suzuha then cuts meter lengths of blue, yellow, and white yarn.
Blue is beta, yellow is gamma, and white is delta. Each is made up of countless beta world lines. Gamma world lines are delta world lines.
She twists the different colored strings together, then stretches them out as one flat multicolored string, as seen here.
Attractor fields are superpositioned like this. In each attractor field, the world lines converge on a different result. They don't interact. Each attractor field is independent of the others. Of course, they all diverge from a common point, somewhere in the past, and they will all converge again at some point in the future, but that takes many hundreds of years. You can think of the attractor fields as very long world lines.
Can you compare it to an eroge? Teach me a erotic one. There's no erotic one here. No, he's right. It's like an eroge. Each heroine's root is an attractor field, and the small choices within are individual world lines. But at the end, they all enter the true route for the grand ending. The only difference is the length of the common parts. By the way, I'd choose the little sister's attractor field. I wouldn't do it. Whatever. You guys are hopeless. Better do something quick.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Just ignore them. Let me get this straight. The reason I can't save Mayuri is that her death is the event upon which this attractor field converges? But that means the world really is killing Mayuri. But then, isn't it impossible to change the future? It always converges in the end, right? No matter what you do, the result is the same? That's right, that's why Mayuri dies no matter how many times I leave.
We have to escape attractor field alpha.
Escape?
In other words, we're gonna jump to a world line in attractor field beta.
I thought attractor fields couldn't interact.
Attractor fields are normally separate, but if we go to the instant they diverge...
The instant they diverge is that now?
I was taught that a major divergence occurs in 2010. This year, an Earth-shattering event causes divergence at the attractor field level. The last time such a divergence occurred was in the year 2000, and then before that, in 1991.
What happened those years?
Events that changed the face of the world.
Huh? 1991 was the collapse of the Soviet Union, right? But what happened in 2000? 2001 had the 9/11 attack. Let's go, America mentioned.
The year 2000 problem.
Y2K? Yeah! Yick, but that was just hype. Nothing happened.
That's because the alpha world line we're on represents a world where Y2K didn't occur.
So in other words, there are worlds where it did occur?
And that brings us to 2010.
Something big happened this year?
What else could it be?
Suzuha looks towards the development room.
With the creation of humanity's first time machine.
Oh yeah, wow! One more question. Kursu keeps plowing ahead. I guess that's what makes her a scientist. These world lines aren't parallel worlds, are they?
No. Ultimately, they're just possibilities that exist simultaneously.
Then how do you observe the differences between the world lines? Wouldn't you need a god's eye view to do that?
Normally, however...
Suzuha looks at me. Don't tell me. Reading Steiner?
Is that what you call it? Okabe Rintaro, you have the power to observe changes across world lines, correct?
Yeah.
That's the key. Your power is the key to freeing the world from CERN's rule. You have the power of a god.
My power?
If you escape a Tractor Field Alpha and reach a Beta world line, then the result will change.
I feel a shiver of excitement. So there's hope? I can save Mayuri? Suzuha nods firmly. Then I must do it. I have no choice. Wait a second. Shoot, wait a second. Kurisu, however, is not so enthusiastic. How do we know this is all true? What if Amane-san is just making stuff up?
What? I'm not making stuff up.
Calm down, I'm not trying to pick a fight. But I still have questions. 1, how do you know about Okabe's power? 2, how do you know Okabe and I were in Akihabara in 2010? Don't you know a little too much for someone born in 2017? She has a point. Everyone looks to Suzuha.
It was written in Dad's will.
His will? What do you mean?
His will was what made me decide to time travel. My dad was one of the founding members of the Resistance. He hid from CERN and researched time travel on his own. He wanted to change the future, but CERN killed him. That's why I'm here, to fulfill his dream.
I just realized something. Aw man, is it gonna be that Daru's her dad because they were both going to that same convention? And they're both blonde? No, I'll shut up. I'm sorry. Suzuha doesn't look at Kurisu. She still seems to have a grudge against her. Kurisu would never actively cooperate with CERN, I know that, but I just can't say it in front of Suzuha. For some reason, Suzuha really does see Kurisu as responsible for the problems of the future. But if that's the case, why doesn't Suzuha just kill Kurisu? Wouldn't that change the future too? Maybe she can't. World lines converge. No matter how hard I struggle, Mayuri dies. Similarly, it may be impossible for Suzuha to kill Kurisu, no matter how much she may want to. Suzuha clears her throat as if to change the subject.
Akihabara, 2010. The time machine created here accelerates CERN's own time machine research. We have to stop that from happening in order to guide history in a new direction.
Stop it. How? CERN already knows about us. That's clear from Moeka's attack.
Dad believed that the ultimate cause was the very first email you sent with your time machine.
An email? It wasn't because they caught us hacking? Like I said, nobody can catch my hacking. Which email are you talking about? I know, wasn't it the email Okarin sent that said Christian died? Right, the email I sent to Doro right after Dr. Nakabachi's conference. Oh, that. Back then, we hadn't yet realized that the phone wave name sent it to change the time machine.
CERN probably intercepted that email and realized what it meant.
They were already onto us back then? Come to think of it, the first time I met Moeka was the day after I sent that email. We really just jumped into the deep end, huh? I just got at the breaststroke! Good job, Mayuri. Alright, then do a sexy underwater pose. But how did they intercept our email? Hundreds of millions of emails are sent around the world each day.
CERN uses the Echelon network to collect communications pertaining to time travel research worldwide.
Echelon? It really exists? As an expert on conspiracies, I understand the implications, and they terrify me. No one else seems to get what Suzuha's saying, though.
Echelon says everything. Any transmission that even hints at time travel is filtered and sent to CERN.
For example, an email that appeared to have come from the future.
We need to find the record of that email in CERN's database and delete it. If you do that, then CERN will never know you exist. The time machine won't be completed in 2034. If we're lucky, the program may be shut down entirely.
In other words, deleting that data will take us to the attractor field where CERN doesn't build a time machine. There wasn't a data like that when we hacked CERN's database.
The IBM 5100.
Oh! Of course, CERN's IBM 5100 database.
That's probably where they store the data from Echelon.
That's what it is. Damn it, Dara, why didn't we use the IBM 5100 earlier? We never had one? What are you talking about? I got one, remember? Huh? Eh, right. That was on a different world line. On this world line, I never found the IBM 5100.
My mission is to make sure you acquire an IBM 5100.
You have one? Suzuha shakes her head.
I'm good in 1975 to obtain one.
1975, the year the IBM 5100 went to market. I know because the John Tidor in 2000 said that was his mission. Was that John Tidor Suzuha too? Anyway, if Suzuha can get us an IBM 5100, then we can leave this attractor field and jump into a beta world line, where Sir never finds us and their time machine is never completed. Mario wouldn't have to die. Alright, we need to move fast. How soon can you leave, Suzuha?
I was trying to leave when you got me, but...
Suzuha bows her head apologetically. I look at her burnt hand. She's hiding it from Mayuri and Daro, but I can see the blood stain in my handkerchief. It hurts to look at. Maybe we should get her to a doctor. Right, your time machine's broken. Can you fix it?
No, I just write it. My dad's the one who built it. I've memorized the manual so I know how it works, but...
That doesn't mean she knows how to repair it. There's no guarantee that a time machine from 2036 can be repaired with today's technology. Maybe we can use a time leap machine to go back before Amane-san's time machine broke. Wait, you're gonna use the time leap machine? Wasn't the plan not to experiment? I still haven't told Daro about my time leaping. There's no time to explain. We'll use it if the situation demands. Do you know when it broke, Suzuha?
No, but it was probably the rain a few days ago. It's supposed to be airtight, but the inside was all wet when I checked it today.
Maybe it made a hole when you crashed into Rodicon?
That wasn't a crash, the coordinates were slightly off, so it just appeared there. It's not exactly the most stable machine.
And remember when it rained? The morning of the 10th, just before dawn. The time leap machine can only cover 48 hours in a single leap. And the time leap machine was completed today, the 13th at 2 p.m. That means we can't go farther back than 2 p.m. of the 11th. Damn, we can't get there with the time leap machine. I thought we had a glimmer of hope. I think we should try to fix it. Yeah, it's a time machine, so we may have plenty of time, right? Oh, Mayuri. ... Kurisu, Suzuha, and I say nothing. We know. In less than 2 hours, Mayuri will die. It's already 5:30. There's barely enough time to sneak into Radicon, let alone fix Suzuha's time machine. Maybe I should leave now at 2 p.m. on the 11th, then we'll have 2 full days to fix the machine. You're all hungry, aren't you? You should be. What's this all of a sudden? Mayushi's hungry! As expected from a glutton. I take a 10,000 yen bill out of my wallet. Mayuri, Daru, I leave the shopping to you. We can come up with a plan while we eat. Wow, Ocarine, what are we gonna do with all this money? Buy food. Lots of food. Use it all. You just calmly hand over a 10,000 yen bill. Wow, Ocarine, you make it look easy. That's why we love you. That's why we admire you. Mayuri and Daru leave in high spirits. I knew the 10,000 yen bill would work. Christina? Tidor? Tidor?
Tidor? Is that me?
Who else?
Why are you calling me that now?
Because you're the one behind Tidor's mask.
Well, yeah, but...
Just give up. Okawari calls anyone by their name.
Oh yeah, he always calls me part-time warrior for some reason.
Listen, you two, I'm gonna leave to 2 p.m. on the 11th. After Tidor explains herself again, we'll start repairs on the time machine. Our goal is to have it working by this time today. Is that the best plan? It's better than trying to fix it when we only have 2 hours left. If it doesn't work, I'll just keep repeating the same 2 days.
I'm sorry.
Tidor, we're counting on you to get us an IBM 5100. Never forget, I'm not doing this for you, and I'm not doing it for the future. My mission is to save Mayuri. Call me self-righteous if you want, however, I'm doing this my way. Kurisu and Suzuha give an encouraging nod in agreement. Good, then let's begin. You're not gonna name the operation? Who cares about that? This isn't a game. Mayuri's life hangs in the balance. You should name it. You couldn't find a good Norse mythology-themed name?
Why Norse mythology?
I don't think there's a deep meaning behind it. Chunubyo patients just love Germanic names for some reason.
Now that you mention it, most of our operation names in the Resistance have Germanic names too. Whenever I ask, they say it's tradition.
So there's still Chunubyo in 2036. Cut the chatter! Mayuri's life hangs in the balance. There's no time for this nonsense. Kurisu sets up the time leap machine while Suzuha goes to turn on the 42-inch CRT. Well before Mayuri returns, I leap. Alright, off we go. I actually have a green tea with me today. I'm gonna sip that. Usually I have my water, but it was really bad and I got a stomachache after drinking it because it had like stuff in it, like powder, from like a like a Kool-Aid pouch. When I come to, I'm standing with my phone in hand. While I wait for them bringing my ears to the side, I check the date and time on my phone screen. August 11th, 2:21 p.m. Alright, now I have 2 more days. As a matter of fact, I left twice, first at 2 p.m. on the 13th when the machine was completed. From there, I left an additional 48 hours to 2 p.m. on the 11th. It was my first consecutive time leap, but it seems to have gone well. Oh, that's good. I immediately head downstairs to see Suzuha. I'm relieved to see that her hand isn't burned. When I explain the situation, Suzuha races to Radicon to confirm my story. After she realizes that I'm telling the truth, I take her back to the lab and have her repeat the explanation she gave to us before I time leaped. We come to the conclusion that all we can do right now is to try our best to repair Suzuha's time machine. Let's go take a look. Daru is unusually enthusiastic. I guess Suzuha's talk of attractor fields and divergence and correcting history's mistakes got his blood pumping. Hold on everyone! Mayuri stops us as we're about to leave the lab. Guys, are we forgetting something? Like what? What about Suzuha-san's dad? Oh, right. I thought Suzuha was lying about that. But when I turn to her, she looks away.
That doesn't matter now, does it?
It does too. I mean, it'll take time to fix the time machine, won't it? Fix time machine, won't it? We should help Suzuha find her dad in the meantime. Right? But when I show reluctance, Mayuri puffs out her cheeks. Don't be like that, Ocarina. You have to keep your promise. That's right. I think you're her dad. I think all of you guys are her dad. I think she's a genetic clone of all of us. What promise? We promised, remember? We said we don't look for Suzuha-san's dad. That's right. We convinced her to stay behind by promising to help look for her father. The real father was the friendship we made along the way, except for when we befriended Moeka. Yeah, I remember. I know Suzuha-san has a mission and stuff, but I think she also came because she really wanted to meet her dad. Why she wants to make that happen? If Mayuri feels that strongly about it, there's no way I can refuse.
Shina Mayuri, you're such a nice girl.
Suzuha sniffles.
You're right. I thought I could find him if I came to this town. I know that he was in Akihabara in 2010.
So your father's real?
Of course he is. At this age, he's probably still young and cool.
His name was Beryl Tidor, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, a foreigner?
No, I'm pretty sure he's Japanese. Beryl Tidor is his codename in the Resistance. I don't think he's using it yet.
That's why Suzuha called herself John Tidor.
I don't know his real name. Some daughter, huh?
Suzuha looks like she's about to cry for an instant, but she quickly covers it up with a bitter smile.
He died before he could tell me.
Hearing that, I realize how hellish the world she came from must be. What about your surname, Amane?
That was my mother's maiden name.
So you have no leads?
Blades. Oh, there's one thing.
Suzuha claps her hands together and starts patting her pockets. A few seconds later, she reaches into one and pulls out the little metal thing. Yeah. A pin? A pin? A bee? I've seen Suzuha fiddling with it before. It's just a regular pin, the kind you stick on your hat or bag. There's something written on it! It reads OSHM I don't know. I forgot what those are called. *** A70110. Oh. Does it read 70110? Oh, it does. I thought that was a P. I thought it said polo.
This belonged to my dad.
A memento. Google it, Daru. Daru runs a search, but gets only incomprehensible foreign sites.
He was here in Akihabara, so I think we can exclude the foreign sites.
Okay, got it. He narrows the search down to Japanese sites, but even then, none of the results look relevant. Nothing. But this has to be some kind of hint. With Suzuha's permission, I take a picture of the pin. Okay, all in favor of helping Suzuha's son find her dad? I want to argue that there's no time for that, but Mari's right when she says that the time machine won't be ready for a while. I guess there's no harm in letting her have her way. After all, there's no point in running, not even with 2 days head start. Even if I dragged Mary to the ends of the earth, we wouldn't be able to escape her death. I know that now. No objections. Thanks, Ocarina. Daru raises his hand in agreement. So does Kurisu. It's decided we'll help Suzuha find her father.
Everyone, thank you. But I want to be clear that my mission in 1975 comes first. That was my dad's final wish after all. So if we still haven't found him by the time repairs are complete, I think we should give up. Is that okay?
Are you sure?
If we still haven't found him by then, it just wasn't meant to be.
It's a relief to hear Suzuha say that. So, where do we start? The pin is our only hint. I'll hit every store in Akiba that sells things like this. Maybe someone will know where it came from.
What kind of stores?
Akiba is full of niche stores where you can find strange and cool accessories. It's hard to sneak into Radicon in the daytime. There isn't a crowd in front like before, but pedestrian traffic remains constant. It takes us about 30 minutes to find a way in. Kurisu is back in the lab working on the time leap machine. It needs to be completed by 2 PM on the 13th. If she's late, it could affect my ability to time leap, which would lower my chances of saving Mayuri. Speaking of Mayuri, she's wandered off somewhere in the search of Suzuha's father. How's it look? I call to Daru, who's examining the flooded satellite. Time machine, while Suzuha and I keep a lookout. Daru crawls on the machine. He's covered in sweat and his breathing is heavy. We'll quickly help pull his huge body out. The time machine is completely visible from the street. If someone were to see us up here, they might report us to the police. It's been 2 weeks since the satellite appeared, but Occupy still has tourists who come just to see it. We need to take care of it to not be noticed. It's so freaking hot in there. It's worse than a sauna. Spend too much time in there and I'll turn to Daru jerky. By the way, it's not gonna fall or anything, right? Our time machine is balanced precariously on the ledge, but the police have plucked up support wires, so Daru probably has nothing to worry about.
Can it be fixed?
Well, I still don't know for sure, but there is one thing I noticed just now. It's built kind of like the phone wave. That means there's a chance, right? I said I'm not sure. I need to poke around some more. Daru, super hacker, everything depends on your skills now. You are the super hacker who will save the world. In 2036, people will worship you instead of Kurisu, the mother of the time machine. It's hacker. Now how many times do I have to tell you? Anyway, you have 2 days. Do whatever it takes, Daru. I place my hand on Daru's shoulder and look straight into his eyes. You're our only hope. No promises, man. And why 2 days? Well, because that's when Mayuri will die, but I can't say that.
In 2 days, the weather conditions will be perfect for creating the ring singularity. If we miss that window, we won't have another chance until next year.
That's excuse, Suzuha. But precisely. Fix it in 2 days? That's just nuts. But if you do, you'll earn the right to a date with Faris. Faris. Can you fix it? No problem. Great, now I just need to figure out how I'm gonna convince Faris. Faris. I'll say Faris. Oshima 7010. We're searching for something with that same cryptic logo on this mysterious pin. Honestly, I didn't think it would be this difficult. Occupy has plenty of niche stores, but they're all for electronic goods and PC parts. There aren't many that selling accessories like Suzuha's pin. We check everyone we can find, but come up empty-handed. None of the store employees have any idea where it came from either. We even check nearby neighborhoods like Bueno and Asakusa, nothing. Suzuha and I return to the lab with heavy hearts. Welcome back. Kurisu emerges from the development room to greet us. She's alone. From the looks on your faces, I guess you didn't find anything. Where's Daru? He hasn't come back yet. It's already dark, so maybe he went straight home? It's too dark to work at Radicon now. We can't use lights, but that would be too... We can't use lights, because that would be too conspicuous to the people below. Mayuri isn't around. It's like Is she making... Mayuri isn't around. Is she making any progress in the search for Suzuha's father?
I feel bad. There's no time for this.
It's not for you. We're doing it to save Mayuri.
Yeah.
Start up Daru's computer and search the net for communities of people who collect unique pins. I'll investigate tomorrow based on the information I find. There's a pin collecting group on a site called Free Para, where everyone shows off the collections. I post there asking for information. I'm sleeping on the couch when a loud alarm rings in my ears. Is it CERN? I jump up and see Kurisu and Suzuha. Kurisu is holding her phone. That's the source of the sound. Good morning. Good morning. Her sour expression says it's not good at all. I wish she put herself in my shoes and see what it's like to be woken up something like that. I check the time on my phone. It's just before 7 AM. You came to wake me up? Thanks. I didn't do it for you.
I asked her to wake you up, Okabe Rindaro. There's something I want to show you.
I realize that there's a strange object sitting on the table in front of me. What's this?
A divergence meter. The numbers indicate the divergence value of the current world line.
The meter displays 0.337187%.
Divergence is measured from my original world line, which corresponds to 0.
You made this?
No, I brought it with me from 2036.
These are Nixie tubes, right? Whoever made this has taste. I'd happily done with the future gadget number 9. How exactly does it work? It shouldn't be possible to measure changes like that. Suzuha shrugs.
I don't know either.
You don't know?
Can you guess who made it?
How should I know?
You did, Okabe Rintaro.
Huh?
You made it. 11 years from now, it apparently works the same way your special power does.
Huh. Does this meter let other people check world line divergence?
I wish. I'm pretty sure only Okabe Rintaro would notice if the number changed.
What? Then there's no point in pick something useful for once, Okabe. I ignore Kurisu's complaints and look at the meter again. This is something I made. 15 years have passed since I completed it. 11 years will pass before I complete it. It's a strange feeling.
Only the person who made it knows how it works. Wait 11 years, I'm sure I'll have it figured out by then.
Have you met me in the future? She did say I was an infamous terrorist in 2036. For some reason, Suzuha's expression darkens momentarily.
No, never.
Oh. So, why are you showing me this?
When the meter reads over 1%, you've made it to the beta world line.
1%.
Right. Reach 1% divergence and you'll save Shina Mayuri.
I stare at the glowing red numbers. They don't budge. Just another 0.6. It seems so easy. But there are 6 digits after the decimal point and no tens place. What does that mean? Something tells me it won't be as easy as it looks.
You can have it. No point in me carrying it around. I hope you'll find a use for it.
Based on recommendations from the BBS thread, I spend the morning visiting stores in Akiba. My destinations run the gamut from... I didn't know that's how you spelled gamut. Gamut from otaku stores packed with anime goods to souvenir stores and shops full of Olympic memorabilia. I even visit a few that specialize in locally manufactured goods. But although I hit just about every kind of store that could be considered niche, I'm unable to find anything that resembles Suzuha's pin. Maybe I should go all the way to Ikebukuro or Nakano. I start heading back to the lab, but just then a street vendor catches my eye. The storekeeper is a foreigner covered in tattoos. The table next to him is covered with accessories and other fashion items. This is the first time I've seen such a stylish street stand in Akiba. Most vendors just sell random junk. It's not like I have anything to lose, so I walk over and check out the selection. Among the various accessories, I see a number of metal pins. What a coincidence! Could you have a pin like Suzuha's? I don't see the Oshim ** 710 logo on any of the displayed accessories, but I better ask just to be sure. He's a foreigner, so maybe I should use English? Our eyes meet. His eyes are bright and blue as the sky. I quickly look away. Damn, he must think I'm a coward. Better get this over with. Hey, master! I am mad scientist! So cool! Son of a bitch! Can I help you? He smiles a wide toothy smile, nice teeth, and answers it in Japanese. I was hoping for more of a reaction. I have a question, if you don't mind. I take the photocopy of Suzuha's pin out of my pocket. Does this look familiar? The man stares at it for a while, then shrugs and shakes his head in an exaggerated manner, typical of Westerners. I want to know where it came from. Can you help me find out? Remember. Sorry, it's a little difficult. What is he saying? By the way, where'd you get this thing? That's what I want to know. I'll compensate you. I'm sorry. He apologizes in broken Japanese. It looks like this is another dead end. Just in case, I give him my contact information and ask him to get in touch if he finds out anything. Then I turn to leave.
Okabe Rintaro.
Oh, hey, what's up? Suzuha's standing a short distance away. She's holding a drink. It's my favorite, Dr. P. No, wait, that's cola.
Sup? Want a drink?
I accept the offer and quench my thirst while leaning on the roadside fence. Last time I saw her, Suzuha was on her way to Kanda to continue the search. How long has she been standing here? Anything?
Nope. So, what was with your English back there? It sounded dumb. So cool. Is that standard English in this era?
Of course not.
Oh, so it's an Okabe Rintaro original. There's no overseas travel in my time, so I wouldn't know.
No overseas travel? What, you mean at all?
Pretty much. Travel permits are hard to get, and they'd never issue one for a vacation. I'd never seen a foreigner before coming in this time.
So in the future, no one's allowed to leave Japan? Japan was like that a few centuries ago too, when the Tokugawa Shogunate closed the country to the west. It sounds like someone set international relations back hundreds of years. Perhaps that's why there's no war in Suzuha's time. It's hard for conflicts to emerge when races and cultures can't interact. It sounds kind of like a prison with invisible walls guarded by CERN and the Committee of 300. I mean, ending war is obviously a good thing, but... Anyway, there's no point in thinking about this in the future now. We need to come up with a new plan. The sunlight beats on my head, making it hard to think. I feel like I'm standing in a sauna. Why does the sun hate me so much? Shining this into the sky like he owns the damn place. Damn it, why can't we find any information on that pin? I suppose it's no skin off my back if we don't find Suzuha's father. As long as Daru fixes the time machine, nothing else matters. So why do I feel so bad about my lack of progress? I really don't know. Yeah, you're a good person. Maybe I'm just frustrated by my own powerlessness. I can't save Mayuri. I can't fix Suzuha's time machine. I can't even help Kurusu with the time upgrade. So what am I good for? The only good thing I can do is help Suzuha find her father. Maybe this pin is newer than we think. I mean, maybe it hasn't been made yet. Suzuha stretches and looks at me with a calm smile.
Maybe I'm not meant to meet him. I mean, we've tried everything and still no sign. Just not in the cards, I guess.
I feel a surge of anger at her words. Here I am, stewing in self-loathing, and she acts like it doesn't matter? How can you give up? We still have one more day!
Well, why are you getting mad?
Everyone fighting for you, don't you get it? Me? I want to prioritize Mayuri over everything else. But you're still a lab man, a friend. When a friend's in trouble, you want to help him. That's how Mayuri felt, and I agree. That's why I'm searching. So how dare you be the first to give up?
You don't have to yell.
Don't disappoint me like this. I tell myself to calm down. This is just my own feelings of incompetence boiling over. There's no time for this.
I'm sorry, but maybe you should think about how I feel.
I realize that we have an audience. Some pedestrians are grinning at us like they think we're a brick-carrying couple or something. I take a deep breath. You're right, I shouldn't have said that. It's too awkward to make eye contact, so I look around pretending to think. Alright, what's next? What next? I wonder how the other lab members are progressing. I'm especially concerned about Daru. Depending on the situation, he might need some relief. He's been working on that heap for hours, so we should bring him something cold to drink. And then there's Mayuri. She's been working alone, trying to find some information on Suzuha's father. By the way, we haven't got anything recent, have we? No. We just haven't used our mails function. I close my eyes, I can still recall her deaths in every detail. I resist the urge to pound my head against the wall. Although we still have over 24 hours before that happens, I can't help but worry about leaving her alone. But currently, all I can do is search for that pin. We decided to try Ikebukuro as our last stop for today. It would be nice to visit home, but I don't have the time, and besides, Suzuha is with me. Our search turns up nothing. As the evening wears on without a single lead, Suzuha and I grow quieter and quieter. We're exhausted from walking, and we can't shake the feeling that all our efforts are futile. This isn't good. By the way, I try stirring up conversation. I should get her to talk about the future. After all, she is a time traveler. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. I remember how shocked Kurusu was to learn that she only lives to be 44, and I was told that I become a terrorist. Am I really famous in 2036?
As a terrorist.
Oh. So what did I do to be called a terrorist?
You rebelled against CERN. You're actually one of the founding members of the Resistance, just like my dad.
I helped found the Resistance. I guess it makes sense, given what we're going through now. Suzuha is from the future of this timeline where Mayuri is doomed to die, and where CERN forces Kurusu to build a time machine. In such a future, how could I not rebel against CERN? Rebellion against the system, destruction of an order, a new age of chaos. Weren't those my ambitions as a mad scientist? How stupid.
Stupid?
How can I still be chasing some Chunibyo fantasy when I couldn't even save Mayuri?
You're fighting to free humanity. I think it's a noble cause.
Suzuha is part of the resistance I formed. Does that mean she's my subordinate in the future? What sort of man am I? Suzuha's expression darkens.
I said we never met, remember?
Never?
Never. You were killed by CERN in
2025. Oh yeah, here we go. Guys, exciting year for everyone. So glad I played this in 2025. I was killed by the same people who killed Mayuri. They had no reservations about murdering an innocent girl. I doubt they would hesitate to kill a terrorist.
Maybe I should have told you sooner. Understand, if you don't change the future, you're gonna die in 15 years. Shina Mayuri will die. You will die. Makusekuris, who will be a slave to certain ends badly for every labman.
What about Daru?
I don't remember hearing about him. I have heard legends of a wizard-class hacker, though. Though I don't understand what wizard-class means in the first place.
Wizard class. I coined that term. I can imagine Daru slowly insinuating himself into every corner of the internet until he becomes a godlike virtual presence that not even CERN can comprehend.
Anyway, I don't want that to happen to you guys. That's one more reason I need to find an IBM 5100 and change the future. Until I came to this time, you guys were just stories, history, but now, you're my friends. I want to save you.
Appreciated. You're a lab mem, now and forevermore.
Ah, thanks.
Oh, wow, mail! Question, are you sure I can finish the time machine in a day? We still haven't found a lifter substitute, remember? I can't complete the upgrade without it. I already told Kursu that I was confident in her ability to complete the machine on time, but it occurs to me that I forgot to tell her about the 42-inch CRT. Our lifter is the 42-inch CRT downstairs. The electrical discharge phenomenon occurs when it's turned on, so don't worry about it. Just finish the upgrade. There, that should do it. I sent a reply and decided to keep searching for the pin with Suzuha just a bit longer. Time is quickly running out. Is there anything more that we can do? It's early evening, but the roof on Radicon is still hotter than hell. When I provide Daru with a refreshing gift for Dr. P, a frown appears on his sweaty face. You're supposed to give me an ice-cold 0-calorie cola. Common sense, man. I forgot he's a cola guy. No sense letting it go to waste. I drink the Dr. P myself. Daru and Suzuha start discussing the time machine. Mayuri and I watch from a short distance away. Hey, Augurine, isn't it amazing that a satellite was a time machine? Yeah, I guess so. I thought the Tider's time machine was a car, a 1970s Chevy. It never even occurred to me to suspect a satellite. I should know better than to take anything for granted. In retrospect, the satellite was suspicious from the start. Not only had it appeared out of nowhere, but Tider only started posting afterwards. I'm disappointed in myself for not realizing the connection. I'm glad Suzuha-san wasn't hurt in the crash. I doubt it was anything like a crash. It probably just appeared there, displaced in the wall, which then collapsed around it. After all, a time machine isn't self-propelled, it doesn't fly. I heard it's really hard to drive. I guess you heard that from Suzuha. If gravitational whatchamacallit coordinates are just a teensy bit off, the whole time machine becomes a jellyman and goes ploop. And she even said her time machine's unstable since it's not a CERN model. I'm worried about her trip to 1975. Do you think I should go with her? I wonder if I'd fit. What would you do in 1975? I'd cheer Suzuha on, of course. I'd hold her hard super tight. I'll hold her hand super tight and tell her that everything's gonna be okay. Something tells you that won't be much help. No, it'd help. Hey, Augurine, do you think the time machine is a name? A name? That's the least of what I want to know about the time machine. Time permitting, I'd like to spend a whole day picking Suzuha's brain. I'm pretty sure John Tider's time machine had a model number. But the John Tider from 2000 might not have been Suzuha. There was no John Tider in 2000 on this world, after all. Although, I suppose it's possible that Suzuha would drop by 2000 after traveling to 1975. If you want to know, just ask Tidor. Oh yeah, I usually didn't think of that. Mayuri giggles and runs off to talk to Suzuha. She told me to fuck off. She comes back quickly. Yep, that is the name. What is it? FG204 something something, she said. Something something. Anyway, don't you think Daru-kun and Suzuha-san are a good match? Huh? Mayuri jumping all over the place today. I look at Daru and Suzuha again. How do you figure? Daru's all about forests, you know? Oh, really? She tilts her head to the side. Good grief. Mayuri and I aren't of any use. It would probably best leave Daru and Suzuha to it and resume the search for Suzuha's father, but Mayuri seems happy just sitting there. We don't have leads on the pin or its owner. Maybe 2 days just aren't enough. No, that's quitter's talk. Like I told Suzuha, I don't want to give up. Besides, even if we don't get the information we need this time, I can use the time machine to repeat these 2 days until we do. Oh yeah, Mayuri, what happened to your costumes? There's only a few more days until Kamima. I remember Mayuri pulling all-nighters to get her costume done. Has that changed? I already made 2 costumes, one for Kaede-chan and one for Fubuki-chan. Weren't you making a third one for Lukako? Yeah, I was, but I couldn't convince her, so I gave up this time. Hey, can Mayuri just take a closer look at the time machine? Just don't get in their way. Okie dokie. Mayuri beams happily and runs over to the time machine. She's acting all like this is a field trip. Behind her, the sun goes dark and orange on the horizon. It's quite a view from up here. After a few minutes watching the sunset in silence, I realized that Suzuha is standing beside me. She must have come over as Mayuri left. Our shadows are long and murky. This is a fucking dating sim-ass pose.
Doneycatjr was amazing. He said if things go well, he could have the time machine fixed by tomorrow.
He's a man who gets things done. And
He looks so unhealthy and slow.
don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, I have a better impression of him now. Hey. There's something I want to say, and I feel like I'll never get another chance.
Why so melodramatic?
I'm really grateful to you, all of you. When I came to this time, I didn't know anyone. I was all alone in the world, completely different from my own. This era is so peaceful. It's a wonderful thing. But it scared me. All I knew was to fight against CERN. But now I have friends. Real friends who I can share my secrets with. All these people who lived before I was born are working so hard for my sake. It's a strange feeling, but a happy one too. I wanted you to know that.
Suzuha's tone is wistful. Why? I try to speak, but she continues before I can.
Living with you guys in this time, it's been really fun. When I met you, you were so strange and unique and over the top. I was kind of shocked at first, actually. But before I knew it, I started to enjoy spending time with you. 2036 is peaceful too. People don't even fight anymore. Did you know that?
How could I? I'm not even alive in 2036, right?
Oh, right. Sorry. Anyway, people don't fight, ever, about anything. All forms of conflict, war included, have vanished. Poof, without a trace. Instead, everyone has dead eyes, like fish. No one has ambition, nobody dreams. They just trudge through their lives with a single complaint. Oh sure, people smile, but they've never got angry or sad. There's no individuality. Everyone's a robot. You got really mad at me before, remember? I was really surprised, but at the same time, I was really happy.
You're a strange girl.
Ha ha ha. I guess so.
Suzuha looks at the time machine. Daru and Mayuri are standing next to it, talking cheerfully about something or another.
You're all so bright and full of life. I envy you. Shina Mayuri, Ashita Itaru, even Makise Kurisu, and of course, you.
Don't be ridiculous. There's nothing enviable about me. I'm worthless. I can't even save Mayuri.
I want to be more like you.
Yeah, if you ask me, you're the amazing one.
I'm happy to hear you say that. It's thanks to all of you that I'm still going strong. Being a Lapim, even for a little while, was great.
She smiles then, a soft, sad smile. She smiles then, a soft, sad smile that tears at my heart. What does it mean? You should hug her. Please hug her.
Being with you guys, even for just a little while, was great.
Suzuha?
Change the future of Rintaro. Make it a world like this one, where people can be free.
Hey, come on, why are you being so sentimental? Does she not want to go to 1975? But I mean, she's got a time machine, so that can't she just come back afterwards? Even as I think it, I realize how wrong I am. Of course. When Suzuha completes her mission and brings us the IBM 5100, the world line will change. The future will be rewritten, and 2036 she knows will cease to exist. To hear her describe it, the future's an awful place, but even so, it was her home. She has friends there, I'm sure, comrades in arms, and memories of her father, Beryl Tidor. All of that will be lost to her forever. No wonder she's getting sentimental. After we fix the time machine, let's have a party.
Thanks.
And yet she's still smiling that sorrowful smile. Afterwards, I hit the streets again in search of the pin. But the day ended without a single lead, so I reluctantly returned to the lab and tried searching the internet. A couple hours later and still no luck. So far I've accomplished absolutely nothing. My frustration is mounting. I could time leap again, but will that really help us find Suzuha's father? Oh, an unfamiliar number. Who is it? It's me. Hi, Mr. Okabe Rintaro? The voice is heavily accented, I can barely make it out. Who is this guy? CERN? I jumped to my feet and scanned the room, then ran to the window and checked the road below. No suspicious figures in sight. Kurisu comes out of the development room and gives me a questioning look, but I wave her back inside. Sir? What is that? I gulp and carefully choose my words. Identify yourself. You, one more afternoon, come to our factory, make inquiry, and told me your telephone number, you know? What are you saying? No, wait. I've heard this broken Japanese before. The strange Japanese filters through my brain, connecting synapses. That's right, it's that foreign street vendor I met this afternoon in Akiba. Identified. Nice to meet you. Oh, you're welcome. I do custom work. Yesterday night, that guest come here, I remembered. That guest was pleased make pin badge same one you had. I don't quite get what he's saying, but he seems really excited about it. I'll head there right now. I go to the same spot as before, although his stand is already closed. The westerner is waiting for me. Oh, Okabe! Hello! Where'd that customer of yours go? Client come here was yesterday time. The white man shrugs his shoulders. So it was yesterday. He contacted me because he remembered. What's his contact info? His name and address? Poison. Guess just for simulation. Private information have nothing. So last night someone came by and went to make metal pins with the same design as Suzu has. But he died of poisoning? I guess it's just a simulation, so there's no private information? I'm not following. Japanese, very studious in awarding private information. Become nervous and serious, yes? That doesn't help. If guests gave a number or telephone number, however, no leak, that is business. Fatigue suddenly weighs on my shoulders. I don't understand a word he's saying anymore. My head is full of question marks. In hindsight, I should have brought Kurisu to speak English for me. I guess I'll just have to wing it. What'd your customer look like, man, woman? Well, so young, or so middle, Japanese have young face, just by looks no understand. Anything else? Maybe a judo fighter? Or a pro wrestler? What? Judo? Pro wrestler? What do you mean by that? Yes! That wasn't a yes-no question, what the hell do you mean? Balloon, where's Balloon? Balloon, judo, pro wrestling? Good! No, not good. Are you trying to confuse me? I want to ask more questions, but the foreigner suddenly sees a policeman walking by and runs off. I consider chasing him, but decide against it to avoid police attention. I give up. The search has hit a dead end and we have barely any time left from Barrel Tidor. Like a time it begins starting at 2 PM tomorrow. Looks like all I can do is wait until Christina's done working, and then leap to the time the suspicious character appears at the stand. Kurisu carefully connects the two cores she's holding. Done. The time leap machine is complete. It's 2:30 PM on the 13th, about 20 minutes later than before. Kurisu walks into the lab with a satisfied look on her face. It's just her, me, and Suzuha in the lab. I had Daru and Mayuri held to Radicon, ostentatiously to work on the time machine. Ostensibly, sorry.
Oh, that's the time leap machine.
Suzuha gazes at the now complete machine in awe. I've already explained it to her about how time leaping works. It's as different as can be from Suzuha's time machine, which can physically displace actual bodies.
It makes you remember the future, right? It's pretty interesting.
Suzuha crosses her hands behind her head and looks up at the ceiling.
Intuition, sixth sense, deja vu. I wonder if those things are actually you recalling future memories. Some of CERN's researchers in my time came up with the theory that memories are a way of sharing information across world lines. Maybe it's similar to that.
I just wish we knew more about Okabe's reading Steiner thing. Is it unique to Okabe, or does anyone have the potential for it and Okabe is just stronger by coincidence? One thing's for certain, my consciousness leaps to the past along with my memories. I still don't understand why that is. It would make much more sense if you experienced a change in the present, like what you do when you send an email. Does your consciousness depend on your memories?
The problem is that consciousness doesn't have a form that we can see. Same goes for the soul. Those things are still in the realm of religion. Even in 2036, the existence of the soul hasn't been proven, and nobody's proven what forms consciousness either.
I see. That's a little disappointing. Sending my consciousness back has let me change some future events with more precision than email, but other events are blocked by conversions. I can change the method of Mayuri's death, but never the fact that she dies.
That's not how it works. The future is always determined.
Then why does the path there change?
Because the world line changes. When you leap into the past and take different actions from before, the version changes, if only a little bit. In most cases, that fluctuation wouldn't amount more than 0.00001% on the divergence meter. Small changes might not register at all. When you change the cause, the effect merely shifts to a separate, already existing world line. Since those two world lines are almost exactly the same, you barely feel any difference.
So is that why reading standard didn't react?
It's not like the previous world line disappears. It keeps existing as another possible world line.
That's the many worlds interpretation, right?
In any case, they're not parallel worlds.
So is the future reconstructed?
I guess you could say that.
I'm confused again. Maybe it's impossible for me to fully understand the structure of the universe. Anyway, that's enough discussion. It's time for me to leap again. I explain the situation to Kurisu and have her activate the time leap machine immediately. Alright, bye guys. Could you send me like immediately after I talk to them? So we don't have to explain this all again? It's the night of the 11th. I went back about 40 hours. My objective is to keep watch on the street vendor stand in the hope that Suzuha's father might appear. I sent Suzuha elsewhere. I don't want her to be disappointed if I come up empty-handed. I'm standing out of sight, a short distance away from the stand, munching on energy bars and soy milk to appease my growling stomach. I've already been here for 2 hours. I forgot to ask the exact time the suspicious character appeared, so I had to begin my stick up before sunset. Now it's 8 PM and the stand looks like it's about to close. Is this another waste of time? Did that foreigner give me false information? But just as I'm finishing my milk, someone approaches the stand. Is that? I jump out of cover. Dude, did I fucking call it? Daru! Okarun? Daru jumps in surprise, but I'm the one who's really shocked here. What are you doing here? I was gonna ask the same question. The storekeeper is looking at us funny, so we decided to change locations. Alright, Daru, what were you doing at the street stand? Don't tell me you were trying to counterfeit duplicates of Taylor's pin. Fine, I won't tell you then. So that's what happened. Daru was the suspicious character the foreigner told me about. So all that stuff about judo, pro wrestling, and balloons referring to Daru's size? Could he have been more confusing? Damn, it was all for nothing. I did actually get it. I did think he was talking about him, but I thought I was stupid. Good thing I didn't bring Suzuha along. So why were you trying to make counterfeit versions of the pin? I wasn't trying to counterfeit it. Close enough. Well, I meant it as a backup plan, I guess. Amane, she's gonna be sad if we don't find her old man, right? So what if that happens? I'll show her the badges I made and we'll lie that her dad was here. So you give her a false hope? You don't have to put it like that. Remember, there are good lies and bad lies. Bad lies hurt people, good lies save them. What eroge did you get that from? Clyde, it's not an eroge, it's a visual novel that teaches you the meaning of life, so shut up. Fucking Clannad fan? My man? I know that line actually. I think I have that line on my phone. I've had it for like years. So I knew that line was in here. So, should I call off Operation Fake Tidor? Do you really think that will make Suzuha happy? Daru's expression suddenly turned sad. Amane told me not to tell anyone, but I guess it'd be better to tell you. He's got a big mouth as usual. Still, he seems dead serious, so I better hear him out. I heard this from Amane when we were discussing the repairs. Her time machine can only lead to the past. What? At first, I don't understand what he means. Nonsense, Tidor's time machine could travel both ways. Did you actually see it? Well, no. Besides, when you say Tidor, you mean the one who appeared in 2000, don't you? I don't know anything about that Tidor. That's right, the Tidor I know and Suzuha aren't necessarily the same person. Although their time machines are similar, there are significant differences. For example, one looks like a Chevy and the other looks like a satellite. So, wait. Once she leaves, she can't come back. You're saying that if she goes to 1975, she can't return to 2010? Not without living 35 years in real time. Are you serious? Does that mean Suzuha's time machine can never return to 2036? Didn't I just say that? Then it's defective. Right, she said the time machine was incomplete. Incomplete? According to Amane, her old man built it in secret by reverse engineering CERN technology. But CERN killed him before he could complete it. Amane insisted if it's fine as long as she can leap to the past, but... Are you sure about this? She said so herself. I don't think she was lying. So if she doesn't meet her old man before the time machine's repaired, she might never get another chance. So that's why he was trying to make a copy of that pin as evidence that Suzuha's father was here. But making a fake version of her father's pin isn't going to solve anything. A lie is a lie. But if we don't get caught, I wave Daru-san and massage my temples. Need to think. What difference does it make? Alright, so he's probably not the father. We're good. True, Suzuha might be sad about missing her father, but that's none of my business. My top priority is Mayuri's safety. That's right. I mustn't let my emotions control me. I need to be more rational, more logical. There's a Japanese proverb, he who pursues two hares will catch neither. However, that sad smile on Suzuha's face. Now I understand what it meant. I feel something tighten deep within my chest. Ah, you're a good person. Help her find her father. The next day, as night falls, I summon all lab mems except Kurusu to Bodycon. It's boiling hot on the rooftop, even in the evening. When I provide Dara with the refreshing gift of cola, his sweaty face lightens up. Wow, Ocarina, an ice-cold zero-calorie cola. How thoughtful of you. Dara happily takes a cola and chugs it straight from the bottle. Afterwards, Dara and Suzuha start discussing the time machine. Mayuri and I watch from a short distance away. Hey, Ocarina, this is amazing that the satellite was a time machine? Yeah, I guess so. I'm glad Suzuha-san wasn't hurt in the crash. I heard it's really hard to drive. If the gravitational whatchamacallit coordinates are just a teensy bit off, the whole time machine becomes a gem and it goes bloop. And she even said her time machine's unstable since it's not a CERN model. I'm worried about her trip to 1975. Do you think I should go with her? I wonder if I'd fit. What would you do in 1975? I'd chase Suzuha-san on, of course. I'd hold her hand super tight and tell her that everything's gonna be okay. Hey, Ocarina, do you think the time machine has a name? If you want to know, just ask Tidor. Oh yeah, I should think of that. Yeah, I don't think we can let Mayuri go back with her, I'll be honest. 1 second. Sorry. Just drink some water. Some my tea. Mayuri giggles and runs off to talk to Suzuha. Returns a few seconds later. Yep, that's a name. FG204 something something something, she said. Anyway, don't you think Daru-kun and Suzuha-san are a good match? I look at Daru and Suzuha again. Daru's all about forests. Oh, really? She tilts her head to the side. Hey, can Mayuri take a close look at the time machine? I nod and Mayuri runs over to the time machine again. Behind her, the sun glows dark and orange on the horizon. As Mayuri leaves, Suzuha comes over to stand beside me. Our shadows are long and murky in the fading light. Yep.
Hashidara is amazing. He said if things go well, he could have the time machine fixed by tomorrow. And he looks so unhealthy and slow.
A refreshing breeze blows by. It was quite hot a few minutes ago, but the temperature's finally starting to drop.
Hey. There's something I want to say, and I feel like I'll never get another chance. Are you listening?
After a moment's hesitation, I give it a little nod.
I'm really grateful to you, all of you. When I came to this time, I didn't know anyone. I was all alone in a world completely different from my own. This era is so peaceful. That's a wonderful thing. But it scared me. All I knew was to fight against CERN. But now I have friends, real friends, who I can share my secrets with. All these people who lived before I was born are working so hard for my sake. It's a strange feeling, but a happy one too. I wanted you to know that.
I've heard these words before, just like last time. Our tone is wistful. You should hug her. Her time machine can only lead to the past. The truth I heard from Daru plays in my head in an endless refrain.
Living with you guys in this time, it's been really fun. When I met you, you were so strange and unique and over the top. I was kind of shocked at first, actually. But before I knew it, I started to enjoy spending time with you. 2036 is peaceful too. People don't even fight anymore. Did you know that?
Oh, is that why the thing... No, the thing is supposed to be there, isn't it? I was gonna say, maybe she never goes back to the Advent 5100 to put it in the shrine, which is, I guess, the original plan is what she's gonna do. But that it stopped being there? But they said that it was there, and that for some reason it was missing. Or did they say it? I don't really know, actually, and I guess I can't go back. But I feel like they were saying, Lukiko's dad was saying that they had it, and it just wasn't there for some reason. Weird. I shake my head.
Anyway, people don't fight ever about anything. All forms of conflict, war included, have vanished. Poof, without a trace. Instead, everyone has dead eyes, like fish. No one has ambition, nobody dreams, they just trudge through their lives without a single complaint. Oh sure, people smile, but they never get angry or sad. There's no individuality, everyone's a robot. You got really mad at me before, remember? I was really surprised, but at the same time, I was really happy.
Suzuha looks at the time machine. Daru and Mayuri are standing next to it, talking cheerfully about something or another.
You're also bright and full of life. I envy you.
Please hug her.
Shina Mayuri, Hashira Itaro, even Makase Kurisu, and of course, you. I want to be more like you. It's thanks to all of you that I'm still going strong. Being a lab mem, even for just a little while, was great.
She smiles then, a soft, sad smile that tears my heart. This time I know what that smile means.
Being with you guys, even for just a little while, was great.
Suzuha obviously knew from the beginning that if she traveled to 1975, she could never return.
Change the future of Kapimentaro. Make it a world like this one, where people can be free.
The first time I heard her speak these words, I thought she was a bit sentimental because she couldn't return to her original 36. I was wrong. Forget about 2036, she can't even return here to 2010, not without living for 35 years. She'll be 54 when 2010 comes around. The present us and the present Suzuha can never meet again. Suzuha chose this mission, to change the future to save Mayuri. Unless Suzuha travels to 1975, Mayuri will die. But then, what about Suzuha herself? When she leaves for 1975, she'll have to sacrifice everything she has here. How does she feel about that? Do you regret spending time with us?
What do you mean?
Do you regret making new friends here, new memories? Do you wish you had kept their distance? You've already abandoned one life, now you have to abandon another. In a sense, it's like you're killing yourself.
Did Hashira Itaru tell you?
Suzuha frowns. He's worried about you.
Jeez, I told him not to tell anybody.
Well, how do you feel about going to 1975?
It doesn't matter how I feel.
Suzuha's expression suddenly hardens.
I have to go. It's the path I chose, and it's what my dad wanted.
What if we ask you to stay?
I'll go anyway. One of those guys on Edge Channel asked what right I have to change the future and decide the fate of the human race. He had a point. But still, I don't want the future to turn out like that. I want the people in my time to be free like you. Free to laugh and play, fight and argue, get sad and cry.
I'm losing the voice.
If I change the future, then no one will die. Not you, not Gina Mayuri, and not my dad. Maybe I don't have to write, but I'm going anyway.
Even if you can never return?
Ah, come on, the 70s aren't that bad time, you know. I'll find friends there just like you guys, we'll have a blast.
Just like that, Suzuha is back to her usual self. But despite her cheerful smile, I'm certain that her resolve was forged from fear and doubt like the lights of which few can imagine. I was a fool to think that my words could sway her. Beneath the clear blue sky, the time machine comes to life. Gyro's repairs are complete. Mayuri and I helped drain the last of the water out of the cockpit. The machine is still stuck in Radicon's wall, but that's a small matter. Gyro gazes at the time machine with a satisfied expression. Mayuri is jumping for joy, and Kurisu, who ran over as soon as she completed the time-late machine, is visibly relieved. Meanwhile, Suzuha is struggling to attach her mountain bike to the time machine's exterior. She likes it so much she wants to bring it with her to 1975. Kurisu is worried that it might cause a time paradox. My heart is so heavy. Should I let Suzuha leave like this? I chide myself for the thought. It's not my choice to make. Suzuha isn't from this time. If she doesn't want to stay, then I have no reason to keep her from leaving. Suzuha finishes securing her bicycle and turns to us with a soft smile. It's not the painful, forced smile I saw yesterday. Sorry. I'm like choking. We don't perform a startup test. Activating the time machine would draw too much attention, so we're just gonna wing it. Fortunately, we have the time-late machine for insurance. My only regret is that we couldn't find her father.
Thanks, guys. Really, I can't thank you enough.
Don't forget about us. If you want to thank me, then let's make out. Control yourself, perv. The lab members pat Suzuha on the shoulder and offer words of encouragement, each in his or her own way.
Alright, take this.
Suzuha offers me her father's pin. Oshima 7010. In the end, we couldn't decipher the inscription.
This is for you, Kamirintaro. Keep it in the lab, will you? Somewhere out of sight is fine.
Suzuha. Is she regretting her decision to leave? Is this pin meant to be proof that Amane Suzuha was here with us in this time? About the pin. Gyro hesitates for a moment, then steps forward. Why don't we make duplicates for all the lab members? Make it our symbol, I guess. Oh, that's a great idea! How unusually thoughtful of you.
I don't know what to say.
We already took a picture of it, so keep your pin on it, She. It belonged to your dad, right?
Yeah, okay.
Let's stay silent. There's nothing I can say. I could stop Suzuha from leaving if I tried. But unless she goes, I can't save Mayuri. Okay, everyone! Mayuri has an important answer to make! Mayuri suddenly raises her hands and calls for attention. As usual, she completely fails to sense the gravity of the situation, though I suppose it's our fault for not telling her the truth about Suzuha's time machine. In any case, she has my attention. What could her announcement be? Could Mayuri have found out that she's fated to die? I quickly glance at Kurisu, but she seems just as confused as I am. Then what is it? Actually, Mayuri found Suzuha's dad! Oh wow, really cool. Huh?
What?
Really? Mayuri puffs out her chest proudly.
What I mean?
Want to meet him, don't ya? Well, he's here with us today.
Where?
Everyone, including me, starts looking around. Mayuri has her hook, line, and sinker. I scan the empty event hall, but there's no one else here. Where could he be? Allow me to introduce you. Suzuha's dad. Son's dad is... Oh, was I right? Is that a drum roll? But Suzuha's dad is... Mayuri flashes Suzuha a grin. Daru-kun! She thrusts her finger at Daru. Our mouths drop. After awkward silence comes awkward laughter. That joke's not even logical. It's impossible for this perv to get married in the first place. Hey, it kinda hurts. I completely agree with Christina. Daru is fit to become a wizard when he turns 30. Hey, you guys are hating. You could be nicer about it, guys, but it's the truth, so I can't object. Oh no, he's fallen. Daru falls to his hands and knees, devastated. As for Suzuha herself, she clearly does not know how to react.
My dad wasn't fat.
Jeez, you're also mean to Daru-kun. I'm sorry, you're also mean to Daru-kun. Mayoshi's the only one to stand up for me. You're an angel, Mayoshi. Do you love me? Nope. Yep, there he goes. Harsh. Mayoshi's 100% sure that Daru-kun is Suzuha's dad. Okay, what's your proof? I was thinking about the letters on Suzuha's pin. After staring at it really hard, I noticed the 7 and 70 10. It's a little weird. It's not a 7, it's a 2. The line fell off the bottom.
Really?
Suzuha stares at the inscription on the pin again.
It's this ball, I can't tell.
Let's see on the picture we took. Does it? Oh yeah, I guess maybe. 2010. But that's this year. Then what the letters mean? Oshim A 7010. That's what they inscribed on the pin. It's easy! Okabe, Shina, Hashina, Makise, and finally, Amane. What? It was right in front of us all along, we just didn't know where to look. It's our initials? So I was thinking 2010, and then I remembered it's the year of the lab mems. The year of the lab mems? The Future Gadget Laboratory was founded this year.
So that's what that is?
Oh yeah, and then the 3 little dashes for the 3 members. And you know, Susan has got stories about the future Ocarina and future Christian, but not a single story about Daru-kun, right? Don't worry about Mayoshi either. Daru's observation startles me. It's an obvious thing to wonder about, but it strikes too close to home. Well, Mayoshi's the lab man, but I can't make time machines, and I don't like fighting. Of course I'm not famous. No, the reason there aren't any stories about Mayuri is because she dies in a few hours. Only Kurisu, Suzuha, and I know that, but we say nothing. But Daru-kun's a super hacker at Ocarina's right arm. He even helped Ocarina make Footwave Chan, so I thought it would be strange if Susan didn't know him. So you're saying he used a different name? Barrel Tighter-san helped Ocarina find the resistant, right? And he was in Occupy in 2010. And he was able to build his own time machine. And he knew about Ocarina's reading spaghetti. Reading Steiner. He knew about it. Doesn't it fit Daru-kun perfectly? She's right. Do you remember this day Susan went to meet her father? She thought he would be at the time machine offline meet. We know that because we tailed her. Daru-kun was supposed to be there too, right? Oh my god, I was right? I'm so amazing. That meet was seriously important to the history of Japanese sci-fi. At least I got to sneak in while tailing Amaneshi. I don't remember that. It must have happened because of the email I sent. This is the curse of reading Steiner. Although I keep my memories from previous world lines, I don't acquire memories of events on new world lines.
Dad told me about that meet when I was little. I don't remember what he said exactly, but I thought I might be able to meet him there.
So if I'd been at that meet, everything would have been okay?
I don't know. I don't think I picked you out as my dad.
Still, the evidence keeps piling up. And then there's the time machine's name, FG2004 something. What was it?
FG204 second edition version 2.31.
Oh yeah, that would do it. That means naming sense. It's gotta be Daru. And FG probably stands for Future Gadget. So Suzuha's time machine is Future Gadget number 204? Finally, his name, Barrel Tighter, had to be Daru-kun. Come to think of it, last night Mario asked how to say Barrel in Japanese. Barrel is Taru in Japanese, right, Christian? Kurisu nods. Daru?
It's a pun.
Okay, Susan, say Hashidai Daru 10 times fast.
Well, why?
Just say it and find out.
Hashidaru.
I'm not saying that. Just now, didn't it sound like Daidor? It did. Hashidaidoru. Ashkururu. For reals? For super reals. I can't believe it. But with all the evidence laid out in front of me, I can't deny it either. Everyone's jaw drops again, only this time we're staring at Daru and Suzuha. I think she looks just like her father. And that could just be the placebo effect, but now that you mention it, they kind of do look alike. Nice work, Mayuri. You'll make a great detective one day. Detective? That's the first time anyone said that. She's such a ditz most of the time, but maybe she's more perceptive than anyone knows. My daughter? Amanoshi's my daughter. Daru wide-eyed points to Suzuha while flapping his lips like a fish out of water.
Dad.
Could you call me Papa instead?
For once in your life.
Don't be a perv.
Dad!
Yay! Suzuha tries to hold back her tears but can't. They fall from her eyes and roll down her cheeks. Seeing this, Daru stops his joking and lets Suzuha speak.
Dad, I came to see you in the time machine you built.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish what you started, I promise.
Yeah.
Watch over me, okay?
I'm watching, of course I am. Suzuha walks up to Daru and hugs him gently. Yay, someone got a hug. Daru awkwardly but firmly hugs her back. Father and daughter reunited across time. I'm truly glad we could bring them together. By the way, was your mother cute? Request petite girl with cute face and big boobs.
That's a secret.
You fucker! That's me though. Literally me, for real, for real. When Suzuha finally steps away from Daru, she's smiling once again.
Well, that takes care of everything I wanted to do on this world line. Guess I should be going.
Wait, you're going already? Don't you have more to say to your father? What are you doing? Suzuha's mind is set. I know that nothing I say can convince her to stay. It's madness to even try. If she stays, Mayuri dies. I know that. So why am I trying to stop her?
Oh, I'm fine now. I'm gonna get an IBM 5100, just like I promised.
She looks at us with the face of a warrior.
I'll bring it to you here in Akihabara. That's my duty, and I'll see it through. The rest is up to you. Change the future, please.
Nobody speaks. Nobody nods. We don't have the words. But she sees it in our faces. Resolve. Suzuha has entrusted us with her will and her mission. We meet her gaze, each of us, and soundly swear to protect them to the end. The future Suzuha came from is not the future we desire. In Suzuha's time, Daru and I have fought to change it. This time, we'll make sure it never happens. Mayuri will live, Kurisu will be free. Suzuha will grow up knowing her father. We must change the future, that all these things may come to pass.
Well, see you in 35 years, so I guess it'll only be a few hours for you guys. Oh, I almost forgot the time machine gives off terrific ultraviolet rays when it jumps, so make sure not to look directly at it.
Oh yeah, cool, thanks. With that final warning, Suzuha boards the time machine. She waves once, then the hatch closes behind her. Moments later, the machine comes to life. A shrill alarm starts ringing. There are no other sounds. It makes less noise than I'd expect. People on the street below start shouting and cheering at the satellite's sudden activity. They all look up and point. My phone vibrates. I quickly take out and open it. The mail is from Suzuha.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Goodbye. When I failed to stop her on a previous world line, she sent me the exact same message before leaving. But this time, the word holds a completely different meaning. I lift my eyes from the message to see the space around the time machine begin to warp. A cocoon of light appears and envelops the fuselage. I squint my eyes against the brilliance. Suzuha. We will never see her again. Not this Suzuha. Yes, we can seek her out in our time. I know I will make an effort. But the next time we meet, an immense gulf of time will have divided us. No matter how hard we wish it were different, she will not be a girl we knew. All of a sudden, Dora takes a step into the light. Suzuha! I'm sure we'll meet again. I'll do my best until then. I hate myself for not knowing any other way to say it, but I'll do my best. I'll do my best, I promise. Suzuha, do your best too. His words probably can't reach her anymore. As the light glows more intense, I raise my hand to shield my eyes. Bathed in radiant particles, the cocoon slowly unfurls. Ooh. No. The next thing I know, Suzuha's time machine has vanished into thin air, leaving a hole the size of a dump truck in Radicon's wall. The air is thick with the smell of ozone and seems to pulse softly where the machine stood. We stand there for a while, staring silently at the empty spot where the summer breeze blows gently past, as if the wind were a fate itself. Unfortunately, we don't have time to mourn her departure. Should I stop right now? Well, I'll keep going for a little bit. In about an hour and a half, Moeka's group will attack the lab. Before that happens, we need to acquire the IBM 5100 that Suzuha went in 1975 to obtain. The time machine's sudden disappearance has thrown the area into chaos, which makes it easy for us to slip out unnoticed. See you in 35 years, Suzuha said. 54-year-old Suzuha should be here in Akiba. Before she left, we decided the time machine's disappearance would be our cue to bring the IBM 5100 to the lab. But when we return to the lab, there's no 54-year-old woman waiting for us. It seems Suzuha hasn't come yet. I got like a piece of plastic on my screen.
Ah, woo, woo. No more running.
Oh, sorry, here we go. Kurusu gasps for breath while Mayuri calmly munches on a banana. As I check the lab for any signs of Suzuha, a line of red numbers catches my eye. The meter reads 30.337187. Divergence hasn't changed. Reading standard didn't activate this time, so I suspected that might be the case. Let's think this through. I thought that divergence would change the instant Suzuha obtained the IBM 5100 in 1975, but maybe there's something else that needs to happen. Will it change the instant Suzuha hands me the IBM 5100? Or will it change when we use the IBM 5100 to delete my email from CERN's database? At any rate, all we can do now is wait for Suzuha to arrive. Suzuha is 54 by now, right? After catching his breath, Dara speaks. My daughter is 30 years older than me. I don't know if I want to see that. Feels weird, man. You know, it wouldn't be unusual for her to have grandchildren by that age. You mean I could have great-grandkids? I don't know if I'm ready for that, man. Just be super nice to them. That's what grandpas do. Please, don't call me grandpa. Dude, I'd freak the fuck out. A knock on the door interrupts their idle chatter. It must be Suzuha. Everyone looks at me with a strange mixture of anticipation and anxiety. I slowly open the door, and it's Fars, and she's got a gun. No, it's not you. Okabe! Instead of an old woman, we get a wall of muscle. Our disappointment is palpable. Oh, and it's you. Hey, have you seen my part-timer? Mr. Braun peeks into the lab. If you're looking for Suzuha-san, she went 35 years. Shut up, Mayuri. Kurusu covers Mayuri's mouth. You know something? Where'd that girl run off to? She took the last couple of days off, and I don't know when she's coming next. She won't even answer her phone. We don't have time for this, but I can't just order him to leave, not unless I want another cracked skull. She said she went back to her hometown. She's probably gone for good. What? You sure? That brat, she didn't say a word to me. The future is changing. Isn't this proof? On my previous sleeps, Mr. Braun never came by the lab. This must be related to Suzuha's trip to 1975. Surely it's a good sign. Now, as long as the tractor field doesn't mend history again. Mr. Braun sighs and turns to me with a serious expression. Well, whatever. I got something for you, Okabe. For me? He hands me an envelope. It's addressed to Okabe Rintaro, but there's no stamp or postmark. The name Hashida Suzu is written on the back. What is this? It's from the lady who used to own this building. She asked me to give it to you on this day. Who? How'd you know Suzu-san anyway? Suzu-san? Suzu-san, of course! The name of the back reads Hashida Suzu. Hashida is Daru's surname. Where is she now? Huh? She passed away 10 years ago. Oh. Passed away? She's dead? A wave of dizziness nearly sweeps me off my feet. How old was she? Mid-40s, I think. The age fits. Thank you for taking care of this letter, Mr. Braun. Is it from Susan? Seriously? Why did he have it? Mr. Braun clearly doesn't understand our reaction, and we're not about to explain. I thank him again. He grumbles a bit and leaves. As soon as he's gone, I break the seal and open the envelope. Inside is a handwritten letter. The characters are slightly messy, as if her hand was shaking as she wrote it. Our eyes transfixed begin to read.
Dear Okabe Rentaro, it's me, Amane Suzaha, Hashia Taito's daughter. It's been a long time. Though for you, I'm sure it's only a few hours have passed. The date is June 13th, the year is 2000, meaning I'm writing this 10 years before you will read it. I'll get right to the point. I failed. 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 The date is June 14th, the year is 2000. About 9 or 10 years before you will read this. I failed. I only remembered who I was 1 year ago today. The day Nostradamus said the King of Terror would come. Stupid, stupid King of Terror. He should have come and burned us all away. For 24 years I forgot who I was. All I could remember was my name. I finally remembered 1 year ago. The day the King of Terror was supposed to come, but didn't. There's no King of Terror, but I want to die. The repairs weren't complete, the time machine malfunctioned. When I arrived in 1975, I couldn't remember anything. They found me lying in the street like a broken doll and took me to a hospital. Now I've been living on my own for years, but that's just Hashida Suzu, a normal woman who forgot the duty and mission of Amane Suzu. I only remembered last year. I failed, 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 I failed. I failed, 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 I'm a failure. Something went wrong. I don't know what, the repairs were incomplete, but it's not Dard's fault, it's mine. I should have gone straight to 1975, I shouldn't have stopped in 2010, but I was selfish and now the future is doomed. There's no IBM 5100. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. For what purpose have I lived to this age? I forgot my duty and lived the carefree life instead. Now my life has no meaning at all. It's worthless, worthless, worthless. I wish I hadn't remembered. I'm glad I finally remembered. I'm glad I had this chance to say sorry. Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. My plan failed. I spent this whole year asking myself why. I finally figured it out. If I hadn't postponed my leap to 1975, this wouldn't have happened. Okabe Rintaro, after the offline meet, you stopped me from going to 1975. I was really happy, but that's where it all went wrong. I shouldn't have left, I shouldn't have waited. That was my last chance. That night, there was a thunderstorm, my time machine was flooded.
Oh dear, that does not look good that it trails off.
If you can go back to that day, please, please let me leave. Then I can bring you to the IBM 5100. I can fulfill my mission. Please, that's all I want. I promised Dad. This is his dream. I want to change the future. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My life was meaningless.
Oh. My hands curl, crumpling the page. I realize that I am crying. Suzuha failed? She lost her memory? Her life was meaningless? This can't be happening. Nobody says a word. Their faces like mine are frozen in disbelief. I turn to Daru. He's whiter than a sheet. Daru, didn't you fix the time machine? I did. I thought I did. I mean, this is my first time repairing a time machine. I might have missed something. Missed something? Whatever you missed cost your daughter 24 years of her life. I didn't do it on purpose. Calm down, both of you. Hashida did everything he could. He doesn't deserve your anger, Okabe. How could you be so calm? That's how I am. Sorry. Now calm down. It's not Daru's fault, I know that. But I can't end like this. I can't. What was Suzuha's feeling as she wrote this letter? I look again at the words scrawled upon the page, every character resonant with despair. I wanted to welcome her back with a smile. Instead, this. Suzuha is dead, 10 years ago, gone. Wait, how'd she die? Don't tell me. Mr. Braun must know what happened. I run to the window and check the street. Mr. Braun is outside, closing up shop. Mr. Braun! I run downstairs. Okabe, did you hear that satellite up and disappeared? Everyone's talking about it. I guess it's already made the news. Please, I need to know. Huh? Know what? Hashida Suzu-san, how'd you die? Why do you want to know that? He looks at me hard, I meet to stare unflinching. I don't know anything about how she died. I need to know what her last moments were like. I feel that it's my duty to know, to engrave her memory into my heart. Sounds like you got a reason. What I want to know is how you knew her. She was an old acquaintance. That's all I can say. A very old acquaintance, but I still remember the time I spent with her. So please, tell me. I don't like to talk about it, but alright, listen good, Okabe. I slowly nod, and then I get my answer. It was suicide. The word drops on my heart like an anvil. My knees give out, I collapse to the pavement. Suicide. She hung herself at home. I was the one who found her. My life was meaningless. I recall the last words she wrote in a letter, words of unimaginable despair. She didn't deserve so bleak an end. She became unstable about a year before it happened. Before that, she was a nice, cheerful lady. This building was hers. She gave me a place to stay. She had no relatives, you know. Almost no one came to her funeral. It was a sad thing to see. She handed me that letter a week before it happened. Told me to give it to a young man named Okabe Rentaro on this exact date. When you moved in upstairs, I thought Suzu-san must have seen the future or something. Enough. I can't take it anymore. I try to stand, but my legs betray me. I stumble, but before I fall, a small body supports my shoulder. Corinne, are you okay? Mayuri. It must be taking all her strength to hold me up. Did Mayuri hear how Suzu had died? Her eyes are wet, her lips are trembling. Still, she's the one supporting me. Mayuri and I bow deeply to Mr. Braun and return to the lab. When we get back, Daru was seated in his computer, head on the table. Yeah, that's fair. Kurusu was standing in front of the TV, watching an excited reporter talk about Radicon. The disappearance of the satellite is huge news, obviously. The lounge is silent, save for the TV. I look at the table. The divergence meter still reads 0.337187%. It hasn't changed since before Suzu had left. What went wrong? I can't go back 10 years with the time leap machine. I can't do anything about Suzuha's death. Should I have stopped her from leaving it all after all? Maybe then this tragedy wouldn't have happened. No, what choice did I have? I can't save my area without the IBM 5100. Suzu had to travel to 1975. I consider my options. What if I redo these 2 days again? Could Daru fix the time machine so this doesn't happen? Is fixing the time machine impossible? Daru's skills are second to none, and the time machine was built by his own hand, 26 years in the future. Seems logical that he would be able to fix it, but look at it another way. It took Daru 26 years to learn enough to build the time machine, and he had to reverse engineer Steins to do it. Maybe it's unreasonable to expect Daru to perform flawless repairs in only 2 days. In that case, can I have Daru use the time leap machine to repeat these 2 days until he repairs it? Alright, I don't know. I'm gonna see this every time I see it now, but in, like, do you see the bottom? I'm, like, completely tonal whiplash. But okay, look in the bottom of, like, the screen on the text box. That looks like Boo, doesn't it? Like, from Mario? Like, that looks like a Boo. But underneath the 2 days, a little smudge right there at the bottom, that looks like Boo from Mario. I'm just seeing it, like, all the time now. Like, in the left, I see the little crouched girl. That looks like a little crouched girl in, like, in a ball, you know? The far left little smudge, but, like, the bottom one looks like Boo. I think that must be Boo. I think that is a edited picture of, like, Boo from Mario. No, he'll have to start from scratch each time. 2 days just aren't enough. Oh my god, I'm gonna see it every time now. I'm gonna see it every time. I have to forget that I just saw that it looked like Boo. Look at it, look at it, like, look at it down in the bottom, right underneath the word sofa, down at the very bottom of the text box. It looks like Boo. I collapse onto the sofa and bury my face in my hands. Mayuri sits next to me and gently rubs my back. I'm grateful for her kindness. I recall what Suzuha wrote. If you can go back to that day, please, please let me leave. The email I sent. Could that be the cause? On the original world line, Suzuha left in 1975 after failing to meet her father. Unsatisfied with that outcome, I sent an email to convince her myself to follow Suzuha and prevent her from leaving. As a result, she remained in 2010 for an additional 4 days. But that night, the time machine was damaged by a thunderstorm. If I hadn't followed Suzuha that day, if I hadn't sent that email to myself, her time machine would not have malfunctioned. She would have arrived safely in 1975. The solution is obvious. I need to cancel that email. But can I really do that? If I change the past so that Suzuha leaves, won't that undo the 4 days we spent together? Our frantic search through the streets of Akiba? Her heartfelt confession on the roof of Radicon? Her tearful reunion with her father Daru? All of it will be undone. What do I do? An urgent bulletin pops up on the TV. I look up in surprise. Oh no. Bomb threat suspends Yamanote, Sobu, Keihin Toku lines. Damn, Moka's men will be here any minute. There's no time to think, no time to hesitate. I run downstairs, break into the Braun Tube workshop, and turn on the 42-inch CRT. Then I return to the lab and activate the time leap machine. What are you doing, Okabe? Kirisu demands answers. I can see the fear in her eyes. We can't just leave it like this. I have to do something. Okabe. But Ocarina, are you sure? Don't try to stop me, Mayuri. I can't let this stand. There are two options. I can cancel the D-mail that convinced me to pursue sending a contradictory D-mail that should do the trick, or I can timely begin and prevent Suzuha from leaving. Two options, but really just one. Do not hesitate, Okabe Rintaro. Hesitation is unforgivable. You already know what you must do. Here we go. Stop pursuit. Last mail. It's a CERN trap. That should be enough to convince me to let Suzuha go. Kuju, you're good at remembering dates, aren't you? Huh? Well, sure. When did we throw that party for Suzuha? 4 days ago, August 9th. You're sending a Team Ocarina, but won't that make everything disappear? 4 days. It may not sound like much, but in that time we forged a definite bond with Suzuha. Send this email to sever that bond. I know that. But this is the only choice I have. I set the phone wave to 97 hours ago. This email should arrive a few hours after the first. Now I just need to send it. Save Mayuri. That is my purpose. That is what drove me to leap through time. I'll do whatever it takes to save her. Just one more sacrifice. Erase the time you spent with Suzuha. Destroy whatever bond you had. Send the D-mail. Push the button. Isn't that what Suzuha wants? You'll be saving her from 25 years of loneliness, from ending her life in utter despair. Save Suzuha, save Mayuri. It's the right thing to do. This is right. But is it really? Is erasing those memories really the right thing to do? Isn't that just running away from reality? Shouldn't I try time leaping first? Maybe there's another way. What should I do? What's the right choice? Stop, you're starting to doubt. Never doubt. I don't know the answer. But I need to reach a conclusion or else. I can't. I can't do it. I can't send this email. Acting on impulse, I don the headgear and punch into a 48-hour time leap. Good man. Do you have a plan? I ignore her and bite down hard on my lip. As the taste of blood fills my mouth, I press the button. See you later, kids. And I think that is a really good time to stop this episode for today. I'll bring my recording supplies with me. That's not a good sound. This isn't a good area. This is a really concerning area to end off on, but I guess... Metaphysics necrosis. Well, let's hope that whatever is happening here is bad. Isn't bad. So yeah, I'll bring my recording stuff with me when I go back home for the weekend, so I can record another episode or 2 or 3, just so I can get ahead, because I think next week for me will be really busy. So your episodes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday might be a little pre-recorded by me. So I'll just make sure that my audio sounds good today and fix that if it sounds bad. Thank you so much for being with me. I've really liked this episode. This game's really heating up. Also, I was so right about Dara, unless like that was a red herring and actually she isn't his daughter, then But I'm such a great detective. I'm about as smart as Mayuri. Let's go. Well, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you so much. I'll have to figure out I'm running out of ciphers for the description. If you haven't noticed, I've been putting ciphers in each of the descriptions that actually just read like the, noun and noun type of style that all my videos have in the descriptions, but I honestly cannot remember all the ciphers I use for them. You're just gonna have to figure them out. I should probably write them down somewhere. I mean, I've given a few hints, like the keys for, like numbers and keys for words, and like, maybe I'll make like a Pigpen cipher one time where you have to click on a link that goes to like an image in a Google Drive. There's a Pigpen cipher on it. That'd be funny. I think for this one I'll do emojis. Wow, the emojis don't really seem right for this kind of tone, actually. Whatever. Anyways, that's it. That's all I need to do. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure to have you guys reading here with me. I hope you don't think I'm stupid. Goodbye. Thank you so much, and try not to lose your memory, kids. See ya.